Usually I don't do this, but go ahead on, break them off with a little previews of the remix. Now I'm not trying to be rude.
Hello, and welcome to your Online Strength Coach podcast, episode 30, I believe. Interesting books on programming. Hello, and welcome to episode 30, which I hope is 30, of your Online Strength Coach podcast, daily update, Dad's edition. Really need to get a name sorted for this podcast, one that flows off the tongue, which this one certainly does not. I've been dredging the belly of the internet, also known as bodybuilding.com, for questions again. Shame on you for not asking enough questions. It is currently the 17th of August 2015, as I'm recording this, and as per usual on a Monday it's going to be a double episode, so the next one will be up very shortly. Okay, so this question comes from the For Personal Trainers forum on bodybuilding.com. It comes from Charlotte PT. Your favorite detail reads on programming. Been reading a lot about nutrition and investing lately. In the mood for some programming reads. Preferably programming applicable to your everyday client and general strength training. What you'll probably find on this kind of topic is there aren't a lot of books that are really worth your time on programming for general strength or your everyday client. They tend to be kind of aimed at the client rather than aimed at the person putting together the program, or aimed at someone who understands probably a bit more in depth the program involved, that sort of person. There could be some programs on or some books on it, but none that I've come across that were really of much merit, to be honest. I know there's usual programs like Starting Strength, which I've not read, probably not going to read, to be honest with you. I know enough about it to say that's probably not what you're after. 531 again, I've read, not a great book, to be honest. Good program, not a good book on training. Kind of the thing you probably be after would be, I've not read it yet, but I certainly will, Chad Wesley Smith's book on The Science of Strength Training, I think it's called. Meant to be very good. I've not read it. Science and Practice of Strength Training by Zadarsky. The original version is probably a lot better rather than the updated version. I think updated version was released in 2008 and was co-authored by Bill Kramer, if I am correct in making that assumption. The original, I've read both versions, and the original is a better from my memory. It has I can't remember exactly the differences, but either editions are definitely worth your time. Probably my favorite book on the subject of strength training. It's not going to give you strategies that are. It's not going to tell you programming strategies that are useful. It's not going to tell you how to put together like a program for someone from A to B. But what it will do, give you a very good understanding of different areas around the topic. I think you're much better spending your time actually just going straight to the technical and the detailed information. And if you have quite a lot of practical experience, which I imagine you do if you're a personal trainer, and then just going straight to the actual technical manuals, you probably get a lot more out of it, because you already have a good idea of the kind of general idiosyncratic. Fuck me. I try to use big words sometimes when I really shouldn't. Some of the day-to-day problems you'll face, or some of the things via practical experience, you'll know that you should go from periods of high volume to periods of lower volume over X amount of time. You should know that you don't necessarily need to ramp weight from week to week to get a response. You'll know that you can with certain clients, you can stay at the same weight, the same sets, the same reps, and actually get stronger doing it by focusing on the actual quality of the execution of the lift. The sort of things that you'll pick up from just actually training people or training yourself. if you've trained any form of standard. So the science practice of strength is definitely one to look at. Super training is a tomb of knowledge. It is, however, like trying to read cardboard. Mel Siff, God bless him and God rest him, was not the best author of all time. He read it. On the face of it, it's a very good book. The Facts and Fallacies of Fitness Training. I tried to get through it. I think I tried to get through it for about a month and a half. I just couldn't. The guy was a terrible author. But yeah, his book contains an absolute wealth of information. Certainly worth your time. Mike Stone has a book. I can't remember the name of it. Give me a second, I'll Google it. Strength. Yeah, Principles and Practice for Resistance Training. That is an absolute tomb. Probably the best researched, or certainly the best researched Western book you will get on strength training. Very good book. Highly recommend it. Definitely give it a read. Again, you can maybe look at the Practical Programming for Strength by Stone. Not by Stone, sorry, by Ripto and Kilgram. Again, not read it. Going off their stuff, I'm sure it's decent, but it's probably a bit lowbrow for what I think you should be looking at. You can look at other texts like the NSCA's book, or some of the weightlifting manuals are probably worth a look. You can get them from Sportneov Press. Very good blog. You can just start reading that blog's good. But yeah, some like on the training of weightlifters or training of youth weightlifters, you'll get a lot of like normative data, and you'll get a lot of ideas on how to handle volumes of trainings and how to put the volumes of trainings together in a cycle. Certainly some books you should probably have a look at. But yeah, if you start with those kind of 4 or 5 books and give them a read, you're definitely going to be in a much better place. It might take you a few months to get through them. Some of them are quite large tomes, but they are definitely worth a look if you're into that. Okay, I hope that's answered your question. I'll post this up on the forum. Until next time, this is Mark of your Daily Strength Coach podcast, signing out. And I'll see you in a second for the next one.